Alright guys, before we get into this video, I want to let you know I've started a second channel called Harbor Pilot. I'll leave a link in the description below, and it's going to be strictly for boat walkthroughs and going to keep the fishing channel strictly for fishing. So I might put some fishing style boats on this channel, but other than that, all the boat stuff's going to go over to that new channel. Please go ahead and subscribe to it, and I will see you over there. All aboard. Can climb the mast.
We graduated from sailboats. All sailors go to the dark side. This vessel, new from the factory, equipped the way she is, between 800 and 1 million.
Alright guys, welcome back to the harbor. I got a beautiful boat to show you guys today. It's going to be the nicest boat that I've done a walkthrough on yet, and the owner's going to help us out as well. Going to show us around on it. So yeah, here she is, down here in Placida, Florida. Sovereign. It's a beautiful 43 American Tug. Let's hop on board. Alright guys, I'm here with Rich, one of my longest and best customers. He used to own a boat yard and has forgotten more about boats than I'll ever know. So he's going to help us out a little bit so I don't look so amateur walking around this beautiful vessel. But
thanks, Captain Brian. Yeah, she's a great vessel. She's a great vessel. This is the edition that he's putting together for folks who like to cruise. This is the proper cruising vessel, in my opinion. We graduated from sailboats. All sailors go to the dark side. And this trawler is both efficient and powerful and seaworthy. The American Tug 435 with a 540 Cummins in it. She's a 2006, meticulously maintained. But this is the vessel that is good for exploring and cruising the Great Loop or any Bahamas or Caribbean. This boat has actually been down to St. Bart's and Antigua on her own bottom. So come on in, Brian, let me walk you through it.
alright, nice Grady White going by.
Oh yeah, nice little, boy, that's an expensive Grady.
Yeah, we're right here, Placida, Florida, right by the Grady White dealer, Igman Marine. Wow, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 425. That's enough.
That's enough.
Yeah, wow, this is
we're quite happy
really nice in here
with her livability and her seaworthiness. The boat, just to be extra safe for the ladies, is stabilized as well. Full galley. There's 640 gallons of fuel and there's 210 water. So we don't even bother with the water maker because we get water pretty much anywhere. And we go to the Bahamas, we'll fill up full and we're pretty much good for the season. But the quality of the build for the American Tug trawler is really up top. It's up where with Grand Banks and Salines and other popular trawlers. The woodwork, as you can see, is all upgrade custom. This is called Jatoba wood, which is actually a Brazilian cherry. It's not teak or sapele, which are common. This is actually a Brazilian cherry wood. And I like that the table matches the inlay here on the overhead in the tug stack, which is the signature look of the American Tug. The vessel is geared for life at sea, for cruising. You have handholds everywhere, and everything is built with American stainless steel and foundries. There is no Chinese equipment on this boat. The rails, the crane, 1,000-pound crane for the 13.5-foot dinghy, everything is built here in America. Walking forward, the pilot house is a great seagoing pilot house. You've got redundant electronics, redundant depth, redundant VHF. Everything is redundant and separate systems, not all on the one Sea-Talk. The entire thing is completely accessible. Wow. The wiring in this boat is phenomenal. The panels are Blue Sea panels, which are standard in the industry. Tremendous. We've had nothing but good results with every piece of electronic on this boat, because not only are they laid out correctly, but they're labeled. This manufacturer actually runs spare wires down the long runs in case you have an issue down the road. Above here is satellite and stereo systems. Over here we like to have a desk. We have a desk that actually is great at sea because we do our computer work and everything else here. Some of the 43.5s, the newer ones, have a stair that comes up here and gains access through a small door to the fly bridge. Okay. We didn't like that. We kept it as this setup. Settee and berth back here, or seat for guests.
What is this?
This is what they call ultra leather. It's very popular in the industry. It's leather, but it's much more durable and easier to clean. It has 4 air conditioning zones, both reverse heat and air. It's got 3 baseboard heaters. Now remember, it's built out near Seattle, so it's cold and damp out there. So we have 3 baseboard heaters. We've got 4 reverse cycle heat and air on board. And of course the old standbys of the stove or oven. We're never ever chilly in this boat at all. And she's got enough volume to have great storage. And also the best thing about it, and I can attest to this, is most everything is easy to work on. There's room around your engine. There's room behind these consoles. There's a door here, a cabinet that comes out, and you can literally crawl in here. You can also remove the cabinet there and open behind the Blue Sea panel, and literally a person can get back in here to service everything. Good visibility forward, uncluttered deck. Hydraulic steering here, of course, and up in the fly bridge, which will go up later.
2 side entries.
Yes, 2 entries.
Very, very smooth.
And being a single engined vessel, the 540 Cummins 8.3 liter swings a 30-inch 5-blade prop. That prop moves water. This boat is happy at 8 knots. We're burning 4 gallons an hour. At 7 knots, we're burning 2 gallons an hour. And at idle speed forward, she'll get up to 5.5 to 6 knots at 1 gallon an hour. However, when those dark clouds are coming in, put that throttle forward and she'll get up on a semi-displacement plane and do 17 knots all day. However, that's 27 gallons an hour. We only do that rarely, but it is good to open up this diesel now and then and blow it out, as we all know. Right. She's got 3,150 hours on her. The average Cummins, about 10,000 hours before you have to take it apart and check and re-sleeve cylinders and things like that. So she's got a long way to go as far as her life is. The dinghy is our life raft, believe it or not, but we don't venture off too far offshore these days. We have crossed the Mona Passage, the 2nd deepest part in the world, all the way down to the British Virgin Islands. This boat was paradise in the British Virgin Islands. When she's underway, it's very comfortable, and the stabilizers, by the way, I had mentioned, add extra comfort to those big ocean swells and the choppy boxcar type waves you see in the Gulf of Mexico where we're at. She's also stabilized, both bow and stern, and they're powerful enough to move the boat, pivot around on her own axis if we wanted to.
Pretty easy to dock on your own? Pretty easy to
dock, that's right. You anticipate. She's got a long keel, so she'll track well in the water. She's not like a lot of power boats that are flat, draw 3 feet of water, and then the wind blows you around. Right. This boat draws 5 feet of water, and it's a big keel towards the stern of the vessel. But she is 22 tons as she sits, so it's not easy to blow her around. That's the biggest thing, as you know. Captains get in trouble with the big power boats and stuff that the wind takes them. But she's been safe. She's been pretty solid for us all these years, and we're going to keep her for a while, but we'll probably sell her in a year or so. Walking forward, down and forward. The guest stateroom is a twin, and it has its own separate air conditioning, stereo. It has everything you want here. One of the things that the little lady really likes is you've got the stackable Bosch washer dryer. Now that's really important. A lot of these new ones are just a combination washer and dryer. You'll come to find out they're not that great. As a matter of fact, most people are drying them. They'll rather half dry them, take them out and hang them to dry because it doesn't do the job. But the independent ones do a fantastic job. Again, tons of storage everywhere. Down below we have a hatch system, which I won't go into, but you have so much storage down below, it's unbelievable. And down below are some mechanical things like the vacuum generators for the vacuum flush heads. This is the dedicated head for the guests and shower. We've had many good friends and family on board on many trips to the Virgin Islands and Nantucket. This boat's been from Canada to Key West and all throughout the Caribbean and Bahamas. Bahamas about 15 times. Just wonderful. Now down below is the master. By the way, central vacuum. Certified for master, U.S. Navy. Again, storage like you would not believe. Storage below, storage here. In the master, and we're doing some work here, so forgive the mess. This has dedicated AC, heat, stereo, and I'm 6'3", and my wife is about 5'12", 5'11". This fits us quite nicely, and it's very comfortable. Dedicated master head and shower. And I like the little touches that that Tomco or American Tug puts into their vessels. They're not only built right with the right material, but they know how to build a boat for layout, for ease of cruising and safety, and they've had a lot of input from so many owners, and they've built quite a few of the 43.5s and the 36.5s. They even have a 39 and they have a 48.5 as well. Now this is a built-in TV and DVD player, which is handy.
Nice. Yeah.
When you want to watch Fox News and she wants to watch Hallmark Channel. Yes, the entire boat, remember, is Jatoba, and it gets oiled once every 2 or 3 years, and it is a Brazilian cherry. Now the thing about Jatoba is they don't build like this anymore because it's such a hard wood that it actually is very hard on the saws and the drills and the machinery. It dulls the blades so fast that they went to a sapele, which is also pretty wood, but more common. But the Jatoba, you won't find anymore. Another thing is, of course, she has an 8 kW Northern Lights generator, and it's operated from here with temperature gauge. Bulletproof. We love the Northern Lights generator. So the engine room is quite large. Easy to access both sides of the engine from 2 separate hatches. It's a 540 horsepower Cummins diesel, as we discussed, and it has 4 house bank batteries and 1 8D start. We just put in a brand new inverter, 120 amp inverter charger, and a 60 amp backup. Very important to have a backup. Your fuel system is not only polished, but it has redundant ray cores. The worst thing that you can happen, especially on a single engine boat, is to get contaminated fuel or have a problem. Well, this helps eliminate it by polishing. You'll see on the right here is a polisher that polishes all the tanks, which are all aluminum and very strong, and you'll notice that the pickup points for the water and the fuel is dead on the bottom. That pipe goes in on the bottom of the tank. There is no 3, 4, 6 inch gap of area where fuel can settle and grow bacteria and bugs and slime. So it's a good system to begin with, but then we added the fuel polisher because you just want to be absolutely positive your fuel is immaculate, no water or particulate, especially with the common rail diesels. This is a common rail diesel. It does not like dirt and water.
How many hours you say you had on?
We have about 3,100 hours. And we keep her clean. I mean, that's the belly in the beast. Or I should say the beast in the belly. 20-gallon hot water heater. You'll see on the right side, starboard side of the boat, you have hydraulic stabilizer. No, that right there is your hot water heater. Mm-hmm. But forward from where you are, you'll see a hydraulic tank behind the wet muffler, and forward of that on the bulkhead is the hydraulic pressure systems for the track stabilizers.
Yeah, I've been in a lot of engine rooms, and this is as clean as it gets right here. Even rolled out the red carpet. I mean, this is, and there's so much space. Like normally,
yes,
you know, guys like me is what you need to get down into an engine room, which I'm like a little bilge rat, but I mean, this is like spacious down here.
Yes.
You've got plenty of room to crawl around. And
it makes it easier, because if it's too difficult to maintain, you're not going to maintain it. And that's how a lot of boaters suffer, a lot of cruisers.
Yep.
This is your home, and the dinghy is your car. So both of those things, when you're anchoring off of the Exumas in the Bahamas or offshore at Martha's Vineyard or somewhere, and you want to make sure everything is going to run right and be safe.
Yep. And having a single screw, you just have half the problems.
You do have half the issues and maintenance and everything.
Yep. Very nice in here. Sit on up onto the bridge. Got a drone spying on us.
Captain Brian, so welcome to the top deck here. This is where we like to live when it's beautiful out. There's the traditional tug stack, which is the signature of this particular vessel. The American Tug line all has a stack that's artificial, of course. Main mast folds down. So for those really tight bridges on the ICW, Great Loop, this folds down. Yep, our air draft is 27 with the mast up. 13.5-foot Zodiac. She's been great. And the 1,000-pound crane, and that's obligatory because nobody's going to handle this dinghy, which weighs in right around 650 pounds. It's a rib, of course, center console. It's got a 25 horsepower Yamaha, and she'll get up and do 35 knots with me in it and 28 with 2 people in it. These railings come out to help deploy the dinghy. The railings pop out.
The back corner?
Yes, the back corner
back
only,
corner.
yes.
Yeah.
So we can pick the dinghy up, pivot completely out,
Okay.
and launch on the port side.
Okay.
Because I'm an old sailor, underneath the dinghy, protected from the dinghy, are 2 large solar panels. So when you're in the Bahamas and you're using the dinghy, you're getting about 11 amps of solar power all the time. In addition to that, a folding air turbine, a wind generator, and that's a great little device. When it's really honking out, you're getting 15 amps. When it's just gentle 10, 12 knot breezes, you're getting about 3 or 4 or 5 amps. And between this and the solar panels, we don't really need to start the generator. Unfortunately, the boat came with electric stove instead of propane, and the air conditioning systems, of course, we need to start the generator for those. But normally, my mechanic yells at me. He says he fixes generators for lack of use rather than too much use. So that's a word of wisdom that I have to listen to.
So when you guys are on the hook, you set up a little seating area up here, or tables?
We do, yes, or in the cockpit, but we like the front bow, we like up here. We were at the Newport Jazz Festival a few years ago, and rig side. We're just right there watching everything right from here. The Statue of Liberty celebrations. We've done a lot from this top deck.
Yes, good elevation. How high are we up here? You know?
I don't know particularly how high, but I find myself that when I'm alongside sport fishermen, like your beautiful Vikings and such, my cockpit, my flying bridge I should say, is higher than their flying bridge most of the time.
Wow.
And of course this is a seagoing fly bridge. It's not a, there's no jacuzzis here, no deck lounging. This is easily will fit 6 people, more if you wanted to. Everything up here is redundant to what's down below. Everything. VHF radio, thrusters, shiftings, engine instrumentation, and your chart plotters, even remote start and stop from up here. Again, panels come off. You can literally crawl in behind there to get at all your hydraulics, all your electronics. The bimini is called a hurricane bimini because it's built like you know what. It's built to take the wind. That
Stable.
TV, of course, digital radar. The visibility from up here is tremendous. Even when you're running at night, you've got a powerful spotlight here. And you've got your thrusters from up here.
And I noticed, thankfully, you don't have isinglass, which is one of the things I hate the most to clean.
Yeah, we went against that because isinglass, no matter how good you keep it, within 2, 3, 4 seasons, it's just not good.
Right.
And also, it's a lot of windage. If you don't want the wind to blow you off and interrupt your maneuvering at a dock, don't put in close fly bridges. They're just huge sails.
Yep.
This boat, as she sits from the factory, is going to run you anywhere between 800 and $1 million. Of course, when you do buy the boat, remember that you always have to buy a dinghy. So that 13.5-foot dinghy up there, a lot of you new cruisers, I hate to break this to you, but a decent dinghy that'll move along and have some power and comfort is going to cost you anywhere from between $16,000 and $24,000. They're horribly expensive. This one's in great shape, but also remember your taxes, whatever you purchase, taxes. So again, this vessel, new from the factory, equipped the way she is, between 800 and $1 million. Depending on things. And this new modern economy, the new normal, I'm even afraid to ask, but
what would you say this is valued at if somebody was looking at something like this right now?
This is valued right now in mint condition with literally everything working perfectly, with $15,000 in spares and redundant systems. I would say we'd put it on the market around $629, $640, in that range. Mm-hmm. I have to do a little more research on that, but considering that the new ones are very expensive, and this one has low hours, and it'll pass any inspection, of course, and a personal inspection to see if I decide to sell it in the future, which within a year or two, I'm pushing 69 right now. It's getting a little tough to jump around. It's a younger couple's game. But yeah, and again, we've been very, very happy with this boat.
We just had the hull painted, and tell you what, it looked pretty good before he did paint it, but it looks like new now. I think he said a year ago. So that nice dark red has got no oxidation on it. Let's do a little quick walk through stern to bow. Nice little transom door, swings, everything on this boat is just really well built. All the doors, all the hinges, everything just smoothly opens in and out. Little storage area for cleaning supplies. Nice little area here to prep some food. We got a little sink and got the grill. All aboard. It's got nice, very wide walk-through or gunnels to walk around on, handrails, everywhere. Keep you on board. Nice anchor box, deep anchor box. Spare anchor, aluminum anchor. I forgot to ask him the beam on this thing, but it just feels very spacious. It's a beautiful, beautiful boat. Nice big windows. Letting in a lot of light. Very, very bright inside. Let's pop open these back hatches. Plenty of storage, as he was telling us. More storage, more access. Here we got the thruster box, looks like. I tell you what, a lot more storage there. These nowhere in the boat, in the bilge, the cabin, these back hatches, anywhere do I smell any kind of, you know, diesel fumes or just that funky smell that you'd get on a lot of boats. So what do we see? This is an 06, so 18-year-old boat, and still smells like new. But all right, well, that's gonna do it. I hope you guys like this walkthrough. I hope to do a few more like this with the customer or the owner on the boat, and I think it's adds a little bit more insight into these vessels. Obviously, nobody knows more about them than the owners themselves. So I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you on the next one. You can climb the mast here. You need to do a little work on the electronics. Got a lightning, but it's an anti-lightning rod. Gives you a little bit less chance of getting struck by lightning, but man, check out the view. Really can get up there on this boat. Here's Gasparilla Sound, Gasparilla Marina out back. Manatee cruising by. Pop up anytime now. There he is.